are starting a brand new journey through the book of Revelation. And over the past few weeks, as I've been telling people that this is coming, I've gotten one of two reactions. Either people are really excited to be studying this book. They say they've been wanting to study it for months and months or even years and years. And then the second reaction I get from some folks is, ugh, really? Revelation? Look, no matter which of those two reactions you're having as we kick up this Bible reading plan, I want you to know that this is going to be a lot of fun. I've never been more excited to teach through a book of the Bible alongside our team than I have with Revelation. We've been learning so much over the past few weeks that we cannot wait to share with you. I am pretty similar to that second reaction. If you would have asked me about a year ago, I would have said, oh goodness, I don't know about Revelation. Because my first experience reading Revelation was actually through a book series called the Left Behind series. If you have heard of the Left Behind series, you already know what that is all about. It's a very specific way of reading this book. And if that is your experience with reading Revelation, then I just want to tell you this is going to be a very different and redeeming experience for you. Scholars say this is one of the most misunderstood and misinterpreted books of the Bible. A lot of people read Revelation with the book in one hand and their newspaper in the other, looking for signs of the end of the world or the Antichrist or some of these other famous figures in this book. And I just want to put your mind at ease. That is not what we're going to be doing as we go throughout the next few weeks. We are going to be reading Revelation. We're going to have the Bible in one hand. But in our other hand, we're going to have two different things. We're going to have the Old Testament scriptures, in particular the prophets and apocalyptic literature. We'll explain what that means here in just a second. But then we're also going to hold within our hand the culture that this book was first written in. Because what John, the author of this book, is doing is weaving this beautiful tapestry of the cultural context of his day with the Old Testament scriptures that he would have known and loved, that would have been near and dear to the original readers of this book. Some scholars estimate, this is a variety number here, that there are between 200 or 1,000, just think about that difference, references to the Old Testament in this book. In fact, some would say that every sentence you read has at least one reference to the Old Testament, some as many as 7. This is a book that is steeped in the Hebrew scriptures, and we're going to call some of that out as we read. Revelation is built on 3 types of literature, and it tells us that right from the beginning of the book. This is, in verse 1, the revelation of Jesus Christ. That word revelation, the title of the book, means apocalypse. But apocalypse isn't the end of the world. It's a type of literature that was meant to encourage its original readers. The word means unveiling. It's very similar. In fact, it's the same word that Paul uses to describe what happens to him on the road to Damascus. He has this unveiling experience that teaches him the true meaning of Jesus Christ. And then also in verse 1, it says that God gave this vision to John to show his servants the things that must soon take place. This tells us that Revelation is also part prophecy. And prophecy is not about predicting the future in some long off time. It's actually about encouraging the saints, encouraging them to persevere, comforting them in the midst of persecution. 3 types of literature: apocalypse, unveiling, prophecy, about encouragement for the people who are reading it. And then in verse 4, we find out that Revelation is also a letter written to 7 churches across Asia Minor. So apocalypse, prophecy, and letter. And here's why that's so important. This is written for us, right? It's a gift for us. It speaks to all Christians throughout the generations since this book was written, but it wasn't first written to us. So as we read, we're going to be, again, holding the cultural context in our mind, holding the Hebrew scriptures in our mind, and first seeing what those have to say to us about how we read the book of Revelation. Here's the last thing I want to just leave you with as you dive into this book. John, again, tells us right from the beginning why he's writing and what this is all about. It's a revelation of Jesus Christ. This whole book is designed to help us understand who Jesus is and what Jesus means for the hope of all future generations. Here's a quote I love by an author I've been reading on Revelation. His name is Michael Gorman. He is the author of Reading Revelation Responsibly, one I highly recommend if you really struggle with this book. This is what he says. Revelation is not about the Antichrist, but about the living Christ. It is not about a rapture out of this world, but about faithful discipleship in this world. That is, like every other New Testament book, Revelation is about Jesus Christ and about following him in obedience and love. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is not a book about the end of the world, so to speak. This is a book about Jesus and what he means to you and to me and to all faithful Christians throughout the world. That is why I'm so excited to dive into this. We're going to unpack so much more over this week and the weeks to come. I am so excited you're on this journey with us, and we look forward to reading with you.